Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, in the name of Allah, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, do men think that on their saying, we believe, they will be left to themselves? I will not put on the trial. And surely we did trial those who lived before them, and so most certainly will Allah mark out those who prove themselves true, and most certainly will He mark out those who are liars. So that is the verses of Surah Al-Ankabut, the spider, the chapter of Quran. And Allah is saying that everyone is Allah going to make trial. Everyone Allah is going to put on the test. And the test is according to the capacity. If you are more strong, then more strong test Allah puts you in. And if the people who have a less strong faith, Allah will put them on less strong trial or the test. So everybody has a test in the life, and then you need to successful with the test. And of course, the most difficult test was upon the prophets of Allah and their family. The prophets of Allah and the families of the prophets, they are always given the very high test. Like Prophet Ibrahim, when Allah commanded him to sacrifice his son. Okay? So Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, what he said? Did he turn away? Did he reject the command of Allah? Or he make some alibi that, oh, maybe Allah will forgive me, I cannot do it, it's impossible for me to sacrifice my own son. But what he did, he did his best to sacrifice his son, but Allah did not accept the sacrifice, then Allah changed it with sheep. And that's a tradition we follow, Eid al-Adha. And that was last month. What was the last month? Zulhijjah. And what is the month now, right now? The month now is Muharram. And today is 3rd of Muharram. Okay, and the next Saturday will be 10th of Muharram, and that will be called Ashura. Ashura means also 10. So last month on the 10th of Zulhijjah, there was a sacrifice day for Prophet Ibrahim to sacrifice his son. But it was not accepted, it was not taken. Rather Allah changed it, but Allah accepted. Allah accepted the intention of Prophet Ibrahim and his son Ismail. They both were submitted to Allah and they wanted to give. When Prophet Ibrahim told to his son that Allah command me to sacrifice you, what he said? Ifal ma tu'mar, do with what Allah commanded you. Satajiduni inshallahu minas sabirin. Surely you will, inshallah, you will find me among those who are patient. A small trial, a big trial. But for us, a small trial, wake up Fajr on time. Eat halal and do halal everything, not committing haram, follow the commandments of Allah. Very easy trial for us. Very easy sacrifices for us. But for the prophets like Prophet Ibrahim, his sacrifice is big. Like Prophet Ayub, they called him Job, or what we called him right name is Ayub. What the sacrifice he get? All his body gets sick and all his skin was already rotten. But he did not complain to Allah, he just patient until the time, then he make dua, then Allah removed it. Like Prophet Yunus, the Jonah, what was the trial Allah put him? Well, he was put in the stomach, belly of the whale for long period of time. And he go around the ocean, this fish was go around the ocean. Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, he has another big trial before. When he broken the idols, the false gods, then what the people did, they throw him in the fire. And he did not complain to Allah, then Allah make it the command to the fire, Ya naru kuni bardan wa salamun ala Ibrahim. O fire, become cool and peace upon Ibrahim. So all the prophets and their family, they always get the great trials. So last month on Zulhijjah 10, the sacrifice was accepted, but it was not materialized. It was not really happened. It was changed to the sheep. So we do every 10th of Zulhijjah, we sacrifice animals to show that we don't love money, but we love Allah, and we are spending our money on that day to sacrifice many animals all around the world. But the next month, the sacrifice was happened on 10th of Zulhijjah. And that sacrifice was given by Prophet Muhammad, even though he was died that time, but he knew that his son and his grandson is going to be sacrificed on that day. And he already has a pain for that while he was alive in the world. Allah showed him that one of his son will be poisoned, and then another of his son will be sacrificed, and they both will be give their life for Islam, for the word of Allah, to make it superior. So Prophet Muhammad's son, move here, move forward here, move forward. Move forward. Move here, you move little there. Move there little. You move backward little. So Prophet Muhammad's grandson Hussein was sacrificed on 10th of Muharram, and that sacrifice was accepted. And it was very simple for him to, easy to say one word that, okay, I accept the unjust rule of Yazid, then he can be saved and his family can be saved. But he wants to give the example that for the sake of Allah, never surrender to the evil. Never accept the evil or evil unjust rule, never to surrender. He gave the example because we are here in this world not forever. So rather than you accept the injustice and die as a coward, he chose to be die as a brave person in the name of Allah and not to accept the injustice. And that injustice was by the Yazid. Yazid was taken over the rule by inheritance, which is against the law of Islam. Because the law of Islam doesn't allow the monarchy that the father died and the son will take the inheritance of the rule. No, it's not allowed. Only the wealth of the father can be inherited by the children, but not the rule. The rule is for the people to decide. The people to decide who is according to book of Allah, the law of Allah, who is the right person to rule the ummah. So that was against the law of Allah. Then he stand against that I don't accept this selection of Yazid by during the life of his father, the Muawiyah, that he took over the rule in the way of inheritance. And that's against the law of Islam. So he stand up against that. So he was given the choice when he was traveling towards Iraq. On the way, his family was stopped. There were 72 only, with his wives and his children, his sons, his daughters, and his brothers and friends and relatives, his nephews. They were all stopped in the place which is called Karbala, and they were given the choice. Either you, by force, you make pledge to Yazid that accept his rule, his Khilafah, and this was actually not Khilafah, it was just kingdom already. Even his father was not Khilafah anymore, but it was just like kingdom only. And they will be already going to be survived if they just keep the pledge to Yazid. So he said, no, I will not pledge because it's against Islam. And I will not accept anything against Islam. So they say, okay, then we will have a war with you. So they were only 72, but the army of the Yazid was thousands. And they were 72 with children and women. Many children and many women. Yet, what they did, the Yazid people, from the 8th of Muharram, 9th of Muharram and 10th of Muharram, 3 days, they also stopped the water. All the water was stopped. They did not let the Ahl Bayt, because we call them Ahl Bayt, the family of Prophet Muhammad, and their friends and relatives. So they stopped the water. So on the 8th of Muharram, 9th of Muharram and 10th of Muharram, they were thirsty. They cannot access to the water. The water of the Euphrates, the Farad, was controlled by the army, and they don't allow them to take any water from there. So they were 3 days, they have no drink, no water drink. On the battle started on 10th of Zulhijjah, and then the Hussein, Imam Hussein radiallahu anhu, he started to send to the battlefield his friends, his relatives, his nephews, his sons, one by one. And they were fighting with those army, with those bad people, and keep on They killed lots of them, but finally, one by one, they were start to fall. They were thirsty for 3 days, and then finally, the son of Hussein was very thirsty. The infant, the Asghar Ali Asghar, 6 months old, and his brother, half brother Abbas, he tried to went to get water. So the disbelievers attacked him. He killed them, but finally they cut both his hands. Both his arms were cut, and he held the water skin in the mouth to run towards the camps to give water to women and children. But they arrowed also the water, and the water was spilled, and he was also martyred. Then one by one, everyone was sacrificed. Then only one son left, the Ali, whose name was also Ali, like Ali Akbar, Ali Asghar, and the other Ali, whose name was Zainul Abidin. And he cannot go to the battlefield because he was very sick. So he left with the women there in the camp. And finally, the Hussein radiallahu anhu, he went to the battlefield and he fought to those bad people. And until there was a prayer time around like something like near Maghrib time. And when he was hit hundreds of wounds on his body, then finally he fell on the sajda, and then he was martyred at that time. And then his family, the wives and daughters and sister, etc., they were all captive. They were brought to the Yazid in the Syria. Then his son was survived, and all his life he was crying for the sadness for this incident. And then during that time, within the few days or few weeks or few months maybe, the Yazid was killed by Allah, by the punishment. Through his horse or some other thing happened, he was killed. And then his son took over again by inheritance, but his son rejected the rule because he said it is this rule has the blood of the family of the Prophet Muhammad. So I don't like to accept it, and he rejected. Then later on some other tyrants came, and then finally a good Khalifa came, Umar bin Abdul Aziz, and he bring the right rule according to the Islam, and it was lots of abundance after this. So that's a short, brief story. The reason for Hussein radiallahu anhu to give his life for the justice. And that's we get lesson, to never surrender to the injustice and never accept the wrong, but always stand for the right. Because this is our test here in the life. If you just give up for the fear of people or fear of life or anything, and you give up your life, you give up the right and accept the wrong, you give up to yourself to the injustice and accept the injustice and don't want to stand for the justice, then you will be a loser. So that was the lesson from the story of the Hussein radiallahu anhu. The same thing happened, like I was saying in the Jummah khutbah, that there was a man called Nelson Mandela from Africa. He was a leader for the South African African people, and the British government went there and they controlled South Africa. South Africa, you know what is South Africa? Is a very rich country. They have lots of gold, diamonds, and different kind of stones, which is very expensive. So British government, they took over the South Africa because of the wealth, because there's so many gold and diamonds there. So they take control of South Africa. So Nelson Mandela is from a poor family, African. He stand up and he make the movement against British. He started to fight against British. He want them to go out from South Africa and give their native land. So when he was making revolution against British, the British government caught him. They put him in Robben Island in the prison, and they let him to stay there for 25 years. When it was so many years, the Nelson Mandela, he wanted to give up the mission to surrender to the British government. And then he was deciding to do it in the morning. And night time, he was prepared that tomorrow he will surrender to the British government. And then suddenly he remembered the incident of Hussein, that even all his family, he did not surrender to the injustice rule of Yazid. And then not only that, he inherited the rule from the father, also so many other corruption and bad things happening in the rule of Yazid, which is not tolerable anymore, which is against the command of Allah and against the way of the Prophet. So he remembered that how the Hussein, he did not surrender to the wrong injustice rule. All his family was sacrificed together with him, but he did not accept the injustice rule of Yazid. So he said, why should I? I'm only one. I can just be patient until the British will lose against his mission. So he did not surrender. Then finally the British was surrendered because of media and because of protest by the people who followed the Nelson Mandela. Then finally Nelson Mandela was able to free the country. And he became the first president of that nation. And he also get the inspiration from the story of Hussein Radhiyallahu Anhu, that never to surrender to the evil, never to surrender to the injustice rule. So may Allah guide us and give us lesson from that story. Ameen. Alhamdulillah.